Unleash the power of HDR lighting in Blender and make your LEGO models look hyper-realistic. Hi there, I'm BadgerBricks and today I will show you how to use HDRIs in Blender to transform your LEGO renders from plain to looking like they were shot with a professional camera. There are two ways to light your LEGO photos, using artificial lights like lamps or using natural lighting. To achieve natural lighting in Blender, HDRIs are the easiest and most effective method. HDRI, or High Dynamic Range Imaging, is a bunch of photos at different brightness levels merged into one super detailed picture. This picture can be wrapped around your 3D models in Blender to make it look like it's sitting in a real environment with natural lighting and reflections. To find HDRIs, you can visit various sites like HDR Heaven and download it from there. Alternatively, you can use an asset add-on like Blender Kit, which lets you download HDRIs directly within Blender and applies them automatically. If you choose to use external sites, you will need to apply the HDRI yourself. Here is how to do it. First, go to the Shader tab. In the Shader editor, open the context menu at the bottom left and choose the world instead of object, then check the box on the right to enable using nodes. The two nodes should appear on your screen. The background node, which changes the color of the ambient light and its intensity using the strength slider, and the world output node, which projects everything you connect to it as the background. To add the HDRI, press Shift A to add a new node and select Environment Texture from the list. In the image field of the Environment Texture node, choose the HDRI file and connect this node to the color input of the background node. And that's it, it's really that easy. If you don't see the HDRI applied yet, set the viewport shading to Material Preview in the top right corner and enable Scene Lighting and Background by clicking the arrow next to the shading options. To adjust the rotation and position of the HDRI, you need to have the Node Wrangler add-on enabled. Once enabled, click on the Environment Texture node and press Ctrl T. This action will add two new nodes, the Texture Coordinate node, which you don't need to change anything in just yet, and the Mapping node, where you can adjust the rotation and other properties of the HDRI. You can enable and disable the background by going to the Render Properties tab and selecting the Film section. There you can check the Transparent option. This will make the HDR background invisible while still using the lighting and reflections. Leave the background on when you want to use it as a sky. For indoor scenes, or when you don't want the HDRI to be visible, you can make the background transparent or block its visibility using objects. HDRI can produce really nice results providing realistic lighting and reflections. However, they don't give you full control over how the lights interact with the model beyond adjusting the strength and rotation. To gain more control over the lighting, while maintaining the reflections and mood provided by the HDRI, you can use additional lights or large wide reflective planes. This allows you to enhance the specific areas and create the exact lighting conditions you need. HDRIs are usually used as a ambient lighting in scenes where you want to replicate the real-life environments. They are often supplemented with traditional lights to enhance the overall lighting. By combining HDRIs with additional light sources, you can achieve the perfect balance of realistic ambient light and controlled focused lighting in your 3D scenes. You can set up your scene so the background scene in your render is different from the HDRI that provides the lighting. This is especially useful for creating scenes like being above the clouds, where the HDRI lighting might be dark but the sky looks great. You can substitute the dark HDR lighting with a normal Earth lighting HDRI to make the mood look better while keeping the sky in space. I'm not going to show you how to do this step by step, but there is the exact node setup you need to recreate to achieve this look. You will need to play with the Mix Shader node to ensure the right HDRI is visible. Sometimes you want your model to be seamlessly integrated into the environment of an HDRI. To do that, you can project the HDRI image onto a 3D object like a cube or sphere, making the HDRI part of the scene. This can be useful for creating a room or other background elements in your scene without having to model them yourself. Again, I'm not going to show you how to do this step by step because there is a really good tutorial about it on YouTube and you can find the link to it in the description of this video. It's a specific usage scenario, so it makes no sense to waste your time on it if you don't need it right now. However, here is the exact node setup you need to recreate. Remember to change the texture coordinate from generated to object, because without it, it won't work. So it would be everything for now, and if you want to learn more about lighting in Blender, you can click on the video on the screen right now.